Alright, I literally just finished recording my Star Trek review, so my voice is a little harsh. It's not because it was a bad movie, it was a good movie, but I kept just going on and on about it, but at the same time I didn't want to put any spoilers there. So I didn't go too much into it. A lot of these movies that's coming out nowadays, I don't want to put spoilers into it. Like, if, what's the next one? Suicide Squad comes out, and I see it, and whether it's good or not, I hope it's good. Every single trailer I've seen of it has been fantastic, been very funny, entertaining. The characters portrayed has, okay, not too much accurate to their comic book counterparts, but it's been a twist put on them which I enjoy. So, with that being said, Batman the Killing Joke, which also takes a twist on the novel. Now, I'm just going to come out and say this because this is something that needs to be said, especially if you're going to go in and watching this animated film, because I'm going in watching this as a moviegoer. I do have the graphic novel and I have read it. I still have it. I hold off for years from trying to read The Killing Joke, and it's because that I kind of like the Joker having sort of like a mysterious past. I didn't really want to know too much about his past. That's what I think makes him such a great character. But I finally gave in and I finally read the comic book. And I kid you not, I swear, as soon as I did, DC announced that they was making an animated version of it and Mark Hamill was going to come back to voice the Joker, which is fine. So, I've seen The Killing Joke. What do I think about it? Well, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think it's just okay. I don't know if I will fully recommend this unless you're doing it as a rental or something. As far as going to the theaters, it's not worth it. It's not. If you want the actual Killing Joke, just read the comic book. Just do that. So, the animated film, it starts out with basically developing character. Joker doesn't appear in it until the second half. In the first half, it's mostly just focused on Batgirl and her crush on Batman and how she's trying to come to terms with it, or she's trying to get him to see how much she loves him. And then there's this villain whose name was Francesco or something like that. He's voiced by John DiMaggio, I think. And he's kind of like this Joker-ish type mob guy. I was like, are they going to make this guy the Joker? Because if they are, that is definitely a difference from the comic book. But this first half that goes on with this sort of mob family and this turmoil going inside the mob family and how one person wants to kill the other to gain some reputation, gain some notoriety, and at the same time Batgirl is crushing on Batman to the point where they do have sex, and everyone has talked about that. And personally, me, I grew up with the Batman animated series, okay, so there's always been hints there, subtle hints and whatnot. Even in if you look up Batman and Superman, The World's Finest. I think that's what it's called, World's Finest, so not World's Strongest, World's Finest. And it's the collaboration with Lex Luthor and the Joker team up in order to take down Batman and Superman. Fantastic three-part series. It's a movie. But it was a three-part series on television when it first aired. I remember that. And it had Tim, of course, the best Batman and Superman voice of Tim Daly and Kevin Conroy going at it. But it was more subtle in the show. It was more subtle. It was hinted at that they possibly had something in the past, or this was the reason why Robin also kind of broke up the partnership with Batman. It was just like, you know what, I'm tired of being second fiddle, that sort of thing. Not only did he feel like he wasn't being respected, like Batman was just sort of being very controlling, or he didn't care or something like that. That makes it sound a little weird, but that's pretty much, I think, one of the reasons why Robin left. And this was also hinted at that was another reason, because of Batgirl. But at the same time, like I said, it was subtle. It wasn't exactly, right out there in the open. It was there for you to assume. And then, of course, the show Batman Beyond, which continued that, kind of gave the confession that Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, did have feelings for Batman. But that was years later. Batman Beyond is all the way in the future. So that's understandable. And, that was fine. Here, it just comes straight forward. It just comes straight out. And it seems like Batman himself even just sort of just gives up and says, you know what? fuck it, let's just do it. And then she actually gets mad when he doesn't call the next day. So they have like a one-night stand. So there's all this shit going on, and I can care less. I really don't care about those type of romantic stuff. I don't give a shit. I just want to see some fighting and a good story being presented here. But that first half with Batgirl, and I can see that they're doing that to develop character, even though everyone should probably know who Batgirl is by now. Just like everyone knows who Batman and Superman is, there's no reason to explain them, but at the same time, I guess you want to do that just to develop character. That's called trying to put in a good story. Here it just feels sort of disjointed because Batman doesn't need any more of a reason to want to kill the Joker, to want to beat the shit out of him, and to have him get in on with Batgirl. And then, of course, the whole killing joke happens. Spoilers here if you've never read the comic book or if you haven't seen the animated movie. I'm just gonna go into spoilers here, so if you don't want to hear any more, go ahead and click off the video. But to the point where the Joker injures her to where she's completely handicapped from the waist down. And of course, after this, she becomes Oracle, and then of course the Batman games happen. I'm just gonna throw the Arkham universe in there because I love it, but Batman doesn't need any more of a reason. Batgirl was already his friend, his partner, his number two next to Robin, and seeing her being injured like that in the hospital already pissed him off. You don't need for them to have some sort of relationship, which literally isn't brung up again. I'm serious. This first half of this movie, these first 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Because the movie's short, it's only about like an hour and 15 minutes. It's over very quickly. But that first 30 to 35 minutes, there's really a disjoint between the two stories. Because it literally goes into that second half and it completely forgets about the first half with this guy and the mob and everything. And Batgirl's feelings for Batman, it's just gone. It doesn't make any sense. It feels so disjointed. It feels just so integrated with the rest of the film. And it hurts it. It really does. And I know they try to do that because, hey, they're trying to make a movie out of The Killing Joke, which is a very short novel, and they're trying to expand on it. But just make the fucking Killing Joke. If you want to make some additions to The Killing Joke, that would have been fine. Maybe the beginning, the first half, instead of being about this random mob dealer, maybe it could have been about the Joker actually doing some sort of crime, kind of like how they did in the Batman animated series. And then we went into the Killing Joke portion of it, and then we got the backstory on the Joker, because the flashbacks was actually done very well, and it was very interesting to get the background on the Joker character. When they was actually doing the comic book, and when they was doing some minor changes from it, it kind of worked for me, you know? Like I said, I think the comic book in itself, you know, people say it's iconic and everything like that. I just find it to be okay, which is why I wasn't that excited about The Killing Joke. I don't think I made a video talking about it, made a reaction to it when they released the trailer. I was just like, I just want this to come out just so I can talk about it and review it, and I'm doing that now. So I wasn't as hyped as other people was, because I wasn't really hyped for the comic book. I don't want to know the Joker's backstory. I like how there's this mystery with him and why it came to that, and you can make up your own assumptions. But like I will always say that the graphic, kind of like how the Dark Knight did with the Joker, but I would always say that the graphic novel did present a well-rounded character that you can be sympathetic with. Here you can kind of feel that, but it goes so quick. It's just, I guess with a comic book they have more time, but in this movie adaptation it goes so quick, and it wouldn't have gone so quickly if you would have got rid of that fucking first part of the film, which has nothing to do with anything. What the fuck was that about? It has nothing to do with anything. Why was that even in there? Maybe we got more of the Joker before he started his pre-career. Maybe he said he was working at Ace Chemicals Laboratory, and that's where he ultimately turned into the Joker. What we showed some of his progress there. Well, we showed him getting bullied by his co-workers and him saying, you know what, I quit, I'm gonna go in the show business. He tries to do that. He loses his apartment. Him and his wife has to move to like the lower part of Gotham. He's robbed one day or something. Anything. He's robbed by the guy who becomes Killer Croc, Waylon Jones. I don't know. Anything they could have added on to the Killing Joke, and then they could have went into the the recreation of the comic book. And like I know, things have to be changed when you're making an adaptation from a movie. Sometimes the transition from comic book to movie works, sometimes it doesn't. This is the time that it doesn't. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to give this film, on a scale of 1 to 4 out of 4 stars, it's gonna get 2.5 from it. It's just okay. I think it's mediocre. Sorry. I would recommend just reading the comic book and read it once. I haven't read it again. I literally read it once. I said, okay, that was good. The ending's mysterious. It's a little bit questionable what happens to the Joker, whether the rumor is whether Batman killed him or not. It's left up to the viewer, the ultimate fate. In the film, they kind of do the same thing and it just feels awkward. It just feels awkward to me, and then it just ends, and I'm like, you know, they would have added on an ending there. I guess that would have pissed people off even more, but you already added that first part. Wow, this shit, just fuck it all up after that, right? So, yeah, like I said, this is a rental at best. I don't really recommend the film, at least not. And they tried. There are so many good people working on this. The animation is beautiful. The voice acting from both Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill, Tara Strong, all of them are just great. The expressions of the character, you know, you feel their pain when Barbara gets shot. It's like you feel that, man. But the film just doesn't work. It's like trying to retell the same thing, but it's doing it not only faster, but it's just not as impactful as the comic book. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't adapt well to film. It just didn't adapt well to film. But at the same time, they did get some of the stuff right. This was stuff that was in the comic book. But like I said, I didn't really think the comic book's all that iconic. I'm sorry, I don't really think the comic book's all that exciting for me. I think it's good. I think it's good. I think The Killing Joke is good. The comic, I think it's good. But I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, this is the definition of... I thought A Death in the Family was a better one. I thought Under the Red Hood was possibly one of the best adaptions of the Batman comic books. One of the more obscure... Well, I wouldn't say obscure, but one of the more fan-favorite ones. Go watch Batman Under the Red Hood. That came out in 2010. Fantastic animation, fantastic voice acting, great fight scenes. Go watch that instead. That one's really good. I recommend that. Okay guys, but thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the review, please leave a like. If you did not, go ahead and hit that dislike button. Either way, I still love you. So, I actually got some stuff to do. So take care, and I'm not going to make any more videos today. Thank God, I am so tired. I'll catch you guys in the next one.